Hello, beautiful souls. This is Twin Flame Union here, bringing you guys pep talk and empowerment series. Today's topic I've got is how to tune into your spiritual gifts, especially if you are in a twin flame journey, or you could even for those ones that are not in twin flame journey but you are also spiritual, then let's just say spiritual journey. So it's good for both parties. So whoever is drawn to this video, it's okay, you've came in the right place. So I'm going to give you lots of tips. And if you're new to this channel, please like, share and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell so that you stay tuned for my future videos. I try to load up every week, and my channel is new, so it's starting to have a little bit of content as opposed to like when I initially started didn't have much, but yeah, before we actually begin, let's hit it. And welcome back. So I have all the topics written here. So if I am going to, not the topics, but the key points that I needed to actually, because there's only one topic, but I just wanted to write these all down so that I don't stray away from the main topic of today's pep talk. So now this is a really, really good question that collectives actually wanted to know, especially like I said, if you're not born into a spiritual community, or this is all new to you, you do not know how this all works, this is a good video to watch, because at the end you'll have a very roundabout idea how to expect or not expect things. So if you are spiritual, then you have some sort of gifts. Usually most people have their intuition. That's the highest most common way that most people, I would say almost everybody, will have a little bit of in their own intuition. Something will not feel right, and time after time, the more that they're in tune to their intuition, they will find that it's validated, right? If something doesn't feel right, or somebody doesn't feel right with their energy, it usually will give you warning bells all over the place. And if that's the case, yeah, you've got that little bit of intuition. Most people actually do. You must have heard from even people that are non-spiritual, oh, there's something about that person that I don't like, and it's because they've actually picked up their energy, and this is why they have said that, right? So you've heard that all your life, and there's nothing wrong with it. And children and animals, they're very, very sensitive in that sort of thing, because especially under the age of 7, that's when you're, as a child, your innocence is still there, so they actually have, we are born with 5 senses, but I want to say that they actually have 6 senses. The 6th sense will be a little bit more intuitive, or they will feel that if something that they just say especially kids, out of the ordinary, and you're like, oh, okay, what does this mean, right? And it just gives you this warning bell or alarm bell. So that's, just keep that in mind. And also with animals, if they do not like you, or they don't like your energy, they will not, want to be around you. So, animals are very, very sensitive that way. So, just keep that in the back of your mind as we go into this topic. So, if you're a twin flame, which is why you're probably drawn to this video anyways, and if you're not, that's fine. If you are spiritual, you do have some sort of gifts. And what I find is, and I'm gonna go back to twin flames here, but take what resonates, because this video was mainly for them. But if you're drawn to it, just keep on watching, because I'm gonna, it'll apply to you somehow anyways. You are born, you're naturally born with spiritual gifts, just because you are in a spiritual path, you're on a spiritual journey, so you are born with it. It's your birthright, it's your God-given right. But having said that, if you've felt that your gifts are not emerged, the only way it works is, especially if you're not, even if you're born with certain gifts, because some people are born with spiritual gifts, they are psychic mediums or healers, right? But they still have to, see, this is where it gets tricky, because they still have to fine tune it. And the only way that they do that is when they actually begin to work on their gifts, they work on themselves, they begin to heal them in some way. That's the only way it actually works. And that's the same thing that, is the case with all the twin flames as well. You only begin to open all that stuff up when you are actually healing you. And all your dormant psychic gifts will start to emerge as the more you heal, the more spiritual gifts will start emerging. Now, you're saying, okay, well, how do you heal? You heal, there's many ways to heal. Yes, working one-on-one with healers is the best way to do it. And not just any healers, it has to be people that are actually gifted. And also, they are diving into their own healing, because you cannot be a healer and think that you don't need the spiritual healing or spiritual upkeep of it. I don't work with, personally, in my own journey, I never ever work with any healers that don't invest in their own healing. I don't want their stuff coming into my healing. And a lot of times my twin flame joins in my one-on-one session, my own healing sessions with those healers. So I don't want any of that, their energy, or their influence coming into my healing. So I do my research really well, and you automatically feel drawn to the ones that are, spiritual healing can be expensive because it's not covered by, the biohealth benefits. So it's something that, is an investment, and yes, it gets expensive. I'm not going to say that it doesn't, but set that intention. Set that intention with your higher self. And your higher self wants you to succeed in this journey, right? It always does. So, you set the intention with your higher self, and has worked with me as well, where I've set the intention with my higher self, and I'm very particular about my, my healers that I want to work with. So I've always said to my higher self, well, if you want me to heal, and if this healer is in my highest and greatest good, then you're gonna make it happen for me. You're gonna make it that I can actually afford it. And I've always set that intention, and Lord oh behold, I just want to say that it always works out, because some way or the other I actually end up working with that healer, and I've made some massive shifts in my own journey by doing that. So number one, if you are not if you don't have the finances for it, set that intention. It's free to do that, isn't it? Right? What's wrong with that, right? You just put that intention out to the universe, put it out to the higher self, put it out to your guides, whoever you feel is the higher power, right? And you set that intention, and if you do it with all your heart, with all your inner being, your desire. That's the thing. It's your desire. If you have a true desire, it will work out. And I'm actually, I just finished one of the Law of Attraction series, and a lot of my manifestation technique would be a little bit on the law of attraction. So, so stay tuned, and I will actually show you that how little things as, little manifestation techniques and using a little bit of a law of attraction will actually get you your desired results. So yeah, I'm gonna be working the remainder of the July to actually finish the series, and I don't know. I'm thinking there's going to be 3, but I have a feeling it's going to be 3 to 4 articles that I'm going to actually be writing, because then I started with one that's already published and I'm already working on the second one. And what I feel is that I have more to go, and I thought it'll be just 2-part series. It isn't actually. I feel that, there's more, because, again, this is all part of my channel writing. If you are reading blogs or articles on the internet, or even such as me, if you like my work, or any other twin flame teachers, or anybody that you're drawn to, if you feel they're you're resonating with their energy, their article, or what they're telling you, is usually channeled information. So and that's another thing that I'm going to go into as well, is your ability to channel right. So not everybody, of course, is a channeler, and that's okay if you're not. That's not your gift. But for those ones that feel that this is their gift, what you should be doing is getting a pen and a paper and a journal and channel them off and write what comes through, and don't second guess what's coming through, and then see what happens, right? Another way of doing it is on computer, just start typing it, right? We are in the digital age, and what you write via your computer or even your cell phone. Cell phone always has a note section, at least the Android does. I've never used the Apple product, so don't ask me, but I'm assuming that it does have that too. But the Android phones always have a note section, so you can actually journal there as well, and save it on your phone. It's writing is writing, right? There's no wrong or right reasons to that. So go ahead and do that as well, right? And just see what wants to come out, right? And also always have a plan, always have a focus, right? Everything, and I'm gonna go back to Think and Grow Rich. That is Napoleon Hill's book. If you haven't read it, I'm still trying to read it. It's amazing. Whatever I have read, I've actually underlined it. And one of my spiritual gurus that I like is Bob Proctor, and he talks very highly about it. So in the way he teaches it, he's saying that if you're reading, and that goes with any self-help books. If you're reading self-help books, make sure that you're underlining things that resonate to you, because when you underline it, you're actually allowing that to sink in even further. So do that, and see how powerful that is as well. Do invest in a few self-help books. Again, all these little things do cost money, and if you are having a hard time to afford them, I know that Think and Grow Rich is, they have an audio file in YouTube, and they have some, like even The Alchemist has the audio file. So listen to that, that's free. So always start off with the intention, right? That's the way to do it. If you start it with the best of intentions, there's going to be free things that will also be there. So, and that's my next topic. How to tap into free things. Meanwhile, if money is scarce and you don't have the ability to afford things, that's okay. And we are in a tougher times anyways with COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs, or they're laid off, and yeah, they are on subsidy, with the government or whatever. So times are a little bit tough. But there's always free things in YouTube, and there's many amazing guided meditations that are there. So a good one would be your chakra balance. Get some good guided meditations going. Do it weekly. Those ones are good. I'm going to go into another form of money manifestation. So I'm going to leave, the rest on that topic. So I don't want to bounce around everywhere. Also, I know that a lot of spiritual people that are doing their mission, they always have free things in their, what's the word, like it's free giveaways that they actually give to the community. Like I started, for example, free guided meditations that are in my channel. So I've done 2. I have about a couple more to go, and it's just me, it's a matter of me finding time and actually drafting it and putting it together. And there's a lot of work that goes into all that. So well, in my case, I'm just bear with me, because I know I've got my hands in everywhere. So right, but also people also spend a lot of time writing blogs and articles. So and I know that I finally got my website up, and I have quite a bit of blogs, like 35 has been written and published. So do check that out as well. Link is in the description box if you don't know where, if you're new to my website, or if you're new to this channel. You will learn so many tips, and it's all there detailed. And I know that I'm not the only one that's actually doing this. There's many amazing teachers and healers and what have you that are giving free community service for that matter. So connect with them, because this YouTube is amazing for that, right? And you get to hear word of mouth as well, because when you are in a spiritual community, you actually bounce around as well. So you do hear word of mouth of many things. Oh yeah, this is this was really good. I tried it. And yeah, you pay attention to that as well, because your higher self and your guides, they want you to succeed. So meaning that they the right people, the right opportunity will come in front of you. And another thing I want to add is that, money is energy, right? It is still a form of energy. So, yeah, you may not be able to afford their services, but, and I do that all the time. I believe in donation. So, you have the best intention. So, throwing a donation to their channel or to their website or whatever have you will go a long way as well. So, and I know that, it takes a lot of time to write those things, to develop guided meditations and stuff like that. So, yeah, you cannot afford maybe $100, $200 session, get it, but you can sacrifice a cup of coffee, and donate something like that to their channel, because that goes a long way. And you will find that when you are doing that, you're getting more benefits out of it too, because not everything that is free you will get the same benefit, say if you were to pay for it. So little donations here and there or stuff like that will adjust that energy, right? That energy exchange, and that's you hear that all the time in the spiritual community, energy exchange, and that's all part of that energy exchange, because they put their time in there, they put their money to develop these things. So when you are appreciative, you throw a little bit of donation, few dollars here, a few dollars there. I'm just saying that it goes a long way, and the universe will give you more abundance of that. So, and you will get more out of it too, through your own healing. So that's another tip to just remember at the back of your mind, right? So, which brings me to the next topic that I've got. Try to form. Oh my goodness, I've got a mosquito. I better not bite me. I'm allergic to mosquitoes, so I don't know where the heck this one came. So jeez, like I get, sorry. I don't feel sorry, because the thing is that if it bites me, I'm done. It's gonna, yeah, I get like it just, yeah, I'll have to take like some sort of reactant or something like that, because yeah, it just, itches, and then, or even if it sits on my skin, it's just really freaking bizarre. Get swelling, red, and then yeah, so good times. I have screens in the window, so I have no idea how they come. Well, we are in the summer months, in North America, so bugs, right? Jeez. Anyways, follow a routine as well, and I find that actually helps as well, with your day-to-day thing. Why I say form a routine is because majority of the successful people, spiritual leaders, they all start their day with some sort of routine, and find what that is. If some people are working shift work, and I'm actually a shift worker, so I look at it this way: it's when I wake up, that's when my day starts, whether whatever time of the day that is, it doesn't matter, right? Because that's what it is. Your morning starts from the time that you get up. So in my case, I've been doing this for 2 years. I listen to 7-8 mantras, and I have it playing in the background. So that's my morning routine, as I'm making my breakfast, or my tea. I don't drink coffee, so that's I make my chai tea. That's what I like. So and I have it playing in the background, and actually can hear it, and it just, like, that's just one example I'm giving you, right? So form some sort of routine as well, because you'll find that it goes a long way to do that as well. So you have to find what that is, because it's such a personal thing, like what your routine should be or shouldn't be. You can even do 5 minutes of just getting up and just closing your eyes and just nothing, just meditate, meditate in silence. You don't even have to chant some sort of crazy ritual or whatever. Just sit in silence. That's a routine as well, right? I'm just saying, do what you need to do, so figure it out, because only you know only you know you, right? So you have to find out what that is for you. I've also mentioned here divination tools, how important they are, like especially if you are trying to form spiritual gifts, or not even form it, if you are trying to fine tune whatever you have already. So you want to have some sort of divination tools as well. I actually did a video on how to use a pendulum, and you can check that video out as well. So pendulum is one divination tool, a go-to tool for anybody that is on a spiritual journey. So look at that, and order one. All that stuff is in that video. So do check that one out as well, and I'll actually link it as well in the description, so you can check that one out as well. Another one is tarot and oracle cards. So now, for those ones that want to buy an oracle card or a tarot deck and they don't have money, well, how about this? You go and just get a normal deck of cards. Those are 52 cards in a deck, the playing cards. That's all that is, actually. I don't know if anybody knew that tarot cards were formed from regular playing cards. So it has 52 what's the word here? Like, it's got 52 cards in that deck. And tarot decided to expand it by adding the major arcana in there. So that's what they did, right? So they did the major arcana, which is 22 of them. There's 22 major arcanas. And then they added the pages, which is the 4, page of swords, page of cups, and so forth, right? All 4 suits. So they added that in there as well. So that makes it to 26. So 26 and 52, that's usually the 78 in a tarot deck. So that's what that is. So if you didn't know that, now you know, right? So if you cannot afford getting that, then use a deck of cards, regular playing cards, and do your reading through there, and get your guidance. There's all sorts of possibilities. And you must have seen this now already with a few readers that have actually wrote their own channel messages, inspirational quotes, messages, just like a card. Like this is actually a card, so so you can get cards like this from wherever your local stationery stores, even dollar stores carry them, so you don't have to spend a fortune in them. But what you can do is you can cut them up, and write your own channel messages that you want to practice with. So yeah, go creative. There's no rules to any of this stuff, right? It's your mind is your creation. You can, the power of mind is amazing, and you can do so much with it. So it's the desire, and I'm gonna go back to the desire part, because that's where everything lines up. Your desire for your twin flame is what gets you into the spiritual journey to begin with, right? That's everything forms from the desire, and that's the Think and Grow Rich. So do look for that audio file in YouTube if you have, if you can't afford it. It'll change your life. Do listen to that. So another one is crystals, right? You can do so much. They're so powerful. And there's so many ways, just look it up on internet, just how you can incorporate that in your day-to-day, spiritual journey. The crystals that you're drawn to will aid you in your healing. So, and they're not very expensive. If you're spending too much money, then try to look for a bargain ones. Just make sure that they're authentic. There's tons in Amazon, there's tons in Etsy. They are not that expensive, so do invest in that, because yeah, those are quite powerful as well. And you'll find I have actually a post an article that I have in my website. I can actually link it in the description on crystals. And just, I don't have every one because it's quite a bit, but I have the key ones in there, and you can just just look at it and just see if anything draws out to you, which one you want to try. It's great for manifesting money, clearing any of that stuff. So yeah, have a look at that. Another one is oils. So essential oils are amazing, especially if you are doing bath exercise. And I have actually in my blogs I've mentioned how you can do bath exercises, and they're very powerful. So those like I can actually link in my moon blog in the description, and there you will find how to manifest using the moon energy, and how to clear using the moon energy, as well as the bath exercises there, and also how to set intentions and clear cords, whatnot, with other people. I actually now have a guided meditation for that, so use all of them. They are all there for free, right? How much is this going to cost you? Nothing, I hope. Like, or if it may, it will be a small investment, right? It won't be anything crazy. So you can, it's kind of crazy. Like, I saw this freaking mosquito, and now I'm like I'm feeling that I'm itchy. It's that psychological thing I'm telling you. Like, I'm finding that I'm itching this or itching that, and it didn't bite me, but Jesus. Wow. Another one is oils, essential oils. When you actually you can mix it with some sort of carrier oil. So look up on those ones as well. When I hit 5,000 and above subscribers in my channel, what I will be doing is I will be bringing in guests. And one of my guests that I'm going to actually bring, she's an oil expert. So, she's got a website, and I know her. So she's in my future guests. So, and I have a few actually. I've got about maybe 7 that I have in mind. And I just, for me to bring other people, I need to have, they need to see that what they, it's the networking, right? This is a different platform, though I have a very high amount of network, outside of this channel. But for outsiders to come, they, especially guests, it's, what is it to them, right? How much are they getting their publicity? So that's how it is. So it's give and take situation. So and yeah, so if you if you want to know future topics and whatnot, and you want to see guests come in into this channel, hit the subscribe, because it doesn't cost much, right? But what it does, it actually grows my channel, and then I can serve you guys in a very higher and more effective way. So yeah, that's what it is. And this is why I haven't brought any guests yet, but I actually have about 7 or so that I have thought of, and they're all different guests with different topics, and one of them will be the oil, essential oil expert, because she's that's her baby. So she'll tell you everything about that. So can you imagine what that would be? That would be a good topic. So I have topics like that. And just trust that I when I started this channel, I wanted it to be different. So I didn't want it to be just any normal channel that they have, right? Where it's just either they're talking about the twin flame stuff and that's it, nothing else, or they are just reading cards, and I didn't want any of that. I just wanted it to be all in one. So and I'm working very hard to ensure that that's the case. So essential oils, you can have the carrier oils, almond oil, St. John's wort oil. These are all carrier oils. Coconut oil is another carrier that people like. So you can, buy pure, always buy pure essential oils, and you can find them all over the place. Just make sure you do your research. Amazon has tons, and, Amazon is very safe in that way, because, it gives you the buyer protection, meaning that, if you get something that's not what you ordered, then, you can escalate the item to Amazon, and they they deal with the seller, right? So it's eBay is good that way too. eBay eBay is unfortunately is not as famous as now Amazon, but yeah, you can do eBay as well, for sure. If you find your stuff that you're looking for, go for it, and you use a few drops of that potent essential oil into a carrier oil, and you can actually apply it in the areas that you are working on. For example, now here it is. If you are dealing with money blocks, which is part of this big, and this is why I saved it till towards the end here, but because I have a whole section that I want to cover on money blocks. So if you are trying to clear money blocks, which almost all twin flames have, and including me, I had to do actually massive Akashic record clearing on my money blocks, one-on-one with a healer, and I saw the root of the issue. And so money block is one of the things that I'm actually really manifesting myself, because this is the way it works. In order for you to be abundant, in your spiritual journey, in your life, you need money, because money actually is a form of energy. It actually, if you love yourself enough, you will want to spend money on you, whether it's your healing, whether you want to go for a nice trip, whether you want to eat this delicious food that is in a very expensive restaurant. I do not care what it is, because I can go on and this video will go an hour, but you get the idea. Money is so important, because it provides the roof over your head, it closes you, it does many things, right? It allows you to afford things. So if you feel that money is not important in your life, that's your money block. I do not care that you feel that this is not, because that's not true. You cannot live without money, and there is no way that you can survive even one day without money. Can you imagine, how that life would look like if you did not have money, to be able to live in a comfortable way, because the universe wants you to be abundant, and there's lots of supplies from the universe. And if you are not receiving the money, it's because it's your ability to receive it. So that's the part that is the block around that, right? So try to do money block guided meditations. I know there's some really amazing ones that are in YouTube. Search for them, and trust me, you will, all that stuff is free. This is why I say, and that's why I saved the money block part, towards the end, because, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I want to talk about and how you can work around that. So that's, going back to the oils, you can actually apply that in your heart area, because usually when people think of money, automatically they think of green color, because green is majority of the notes, that most countries, like print. So, that's, if it's not the case, then just imagine it to be green, because that's usually what it is. Most people will associate money with green energy. So, there's a reason for that. And think about that for a second, because money was printed eons ago. I don't even know when they started, actually, before they were just exchanging gold and silver, back in, before AD and all that, no, before Christ, like I'm talking about, in time frame here. So, people were exchanging even back in the days then too, silver coins and gold coins and what have you, or, riches, some people used to trade cows and, animals, right? Because sheep's, right? I'm just saying, if you look into the biblical times, right, and that's what it was, or religious times, and that's what they used to do. They exchanged, some way. It was the energy exchange even back then was there. So then, as we are going into the new age, of course we developed money. So, and if you think about it, it's very powerful, because majority of the countries did, release their notes in some sort of green color, right? So, and green is associated with heart, that's the heart color, right? So that's your heart chakra, and that's one of the hardest ones. You can open up, bam, 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 top to bottom, all of your chakras. Your heart chakra is the last one that you'll open. So, and you must have heard that within your spiritual communities, especially if, you have read any of the good teachers that talk about all that stuff, because, I know that one teacher actually goes very explicit in her articles on, on the heart chakra and just how important that is. So, and it's one of the hardest ones to manifest, because, and this is one of the blocks, again, going back to twin flames, because, it's the ability to receive love. We give out love, but, it's about to receive. It's the receiving part of that, right? And this is why your twin flame is running away from you, because, you're mirroring each other, all those blocks, right? So money blocks, how they tie into a spiritual journey. Now, it's deeper rooted than you have ever thought. And again, it ties into your heart chakra, which is the hardest one to clear. So, essential oils will aid that. You apply it in your heart chakra. So, that's another way of healing. So, and the reason why I'm bringing some aspects of healing and clearing is because that's what will allow you to receive your own spiritual gifts, which was the main topic of this video. How do you develop your spiritual gifts? Well, this is how you develop it, and I'm just providing you a roadmap of all of that. So, if that makes sense. So, the next one is, again, money blocks and how you manifest it. So, good one to do is vision boards. I created 3 vision boards. One was live vision board, and at the time, honestly, I had no idea that it would be that powerful. I want to say 3/4 of the stuff that I had put in the life vision board has come true. It's shown up in my reality within months. It's crazy. And the quickest way to do that is, I say, magazine cutouts are great, but you'll have to go through so many magazines, and that was the old style. We are in the digital new style. This is 2020. Who's got the time? I don't. So what I did is I actually searched and looked for some pictures that I was drawn to, and whatever, and it was a twin flame actually vision board, but I decided to, whatever meant to me in my journey and what didn't, or what have you, and my goals and all that sort of thing, I printed a like I saved the pictures on my phone. Everybody has a phone these days, so or a computer, save them. And then what you do is you just save it to your phone or to a USB file, whatever. Take it to your local printing shop. For those ones that live in North America, like Walmart is great for that. So and the ones that don't have Walmart, doesn't matter. Walmart, Costco, any of those. Or something to that equivalent. You will have, everybody has a printing shop. In their neighborhood. Just take it to them, and just have the photos printed, and they're not expensive at all. Everybody can afford that. So try that, and then you get a big massive board, and then you just start plucking them in there, right? You start pasting them in, and then put them up. For God's sakes, please do not put them away in a closet, or anywhere. Put them where you can actually see them, because you want to actually visualize that. So I did the life one. Then I did the yearly one, and I couldn't believe just how fast things came into fruition even from that too. So I think they're very, very powerful, especially if you're doing it with your heart and soul, right? I also did an inner child one, because I did a massive healing of inner child, and I actually decided to create that one as well. I asked my mom, she's still alive, or you can ask your family, friends, or aunts, or anybody that grew up with you. Actually even took help from a friend as well. So it just goes to show that if people are listening to you, or if they know you, they will actually help you create your own inner child vision board. So yeah, I ended up, some of it I remembered myself, some of them that I didn't. I had to talk to other people, and you can do that, take help, and put your picture in the center, and then put everything that you did around your childhood days that you actually loved and enjoyed. So put the happy things in there, and the whole idea for that is that you actually recall the good things out of your life, right? Because that's what you want to hold on to. The bad things are for you to heal and purge and move on with, and the good things are the ones that you want to remember and go forward with, right? So inner child vision boards are very, very powerful as well. In fact, even from there, even though that was in the past, I had put unicorns, in my vision board, and in my shamanic practitioner training program, I couldn't believe that showed up. So, and that's something that's going to carry on with me for life. And every time I see a unicorn, I can't believe it. So, yeah, vision boards, crazy powerful. So do use them. Now, if you want to, invest in a green candle is great. Green candles, there's some money candles too in the, Amazon and Etsy. They're a little bit pricier. You can just use any green candle. And the reason why, you use green candle is for, attracting money. So you do money manifestation with that. You can write down the intention in a piece of paper, and then have some green crystals. Jade is one, aventurine is one, and agate, green agate is another one. So just use some green crystals around it, because that's what you want. And then make sure that you have pyrite there. Pyrite is this one, the shiny stone, and just manifest, right? So go crazy with that. Light the candle every day till it actually finishes. So that's another way of manifesting. So it works very powerful. I also add a green note in there. So, if you do not have a green note, then print a picture of a green note, like a, money note from the internet, and then, use that as a tool. That's okay too, because, the intention is there, right? So so it's the green candle, the personal note, whatever you want to invest, in terms of money, as well as, some green stones, right? Green colored stones, and your green money note, whether it could be fake, use the real one if you have access to it. If not, then use the printed version from the internet, so do that. And manifest away, right? Make it a ritual, do what you need to do. Just go with your heart. There's no there's no wrong or right reasons for that. You just do what you need to do. You as long as you set your intention, that's what the main thing is, right? I already talked about money block guided meditations. Do look at that. I've already talked about self-help books, so it's a recap here for you guys to write that. And then I've also talked about the spiritual community, and some of the healers and teachers, how they offer free things, and do look at those ones as well, because especially if they have articles and all that sort of thing. Like I said, all of that stuff does cost money and doesn't just appear. See, the thing is that there's no such thing as the sky opening and a bag of gold will just pluck right in front of you. It doesn't work that way, right? I mean, we wish that was the case. There's no such thing as leprechauns, and clovers, with a bag of gold. it sounds great in in mythological stories, telling your children or whatever, but it doesn't work that way. So in today's time, we have to actually manifest these things. And law of attraction, how it works is you really have to learn how to tap into the right frequency. Right frequency is the key. If you do not tap into the right frequency, you will not manifest anything. So that's what I'm going to leave you with as well. Just know that it does work if you are tapping into the correct frequency. So it works for everybody, but it's that frequency, right? Energy is that frequency. So how try with these little techniques and then see if you have the manifesting power. Because if you have the manifesting power, then you can actually manifest more and more. Another one that I always talk about in my teachings is having an altar. You can connect with your guides, have a oil lamp or candle, incense, a figurine of your of your guides and whoever, your twin flame ascended masters. It's so important, right? And tend to the altar, right? Light a candle, weekly or, every few days, right? If you cannot afford a figurine at this point, that's okay. Download their picture, take it to your printing shop, get them to print it, it's not going to cost you much, and then put them in a picture frame and you've got your altar. If your intention is there, you will find ways to do any of that stuff. And when you are practicing these kind of things, what happens is that you will find that you're clearing your blocks, you're healing, and then it will actually open up your own spiritual gifts, and that will also open up roadways, and it will map out, your intention to work with healers one-on-one, where you can actually afford them and do it that way. And once you start working properly with one-on-one with healers, you'll find that your spiritual gifts will, start forming even more and more and more. So that's the whole reason why I did this video. I didn't think that it would be such a long one, but I know that you guys did get a lot of tips here how to work it around, and I know that I have tried them all, and I want to say that they work amazingly. So this is tried and tested by me, and I swear by it. So hope that you guys enjoyed this. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to, I know that. And this was Twin Flame Union, bringing you guys a pep talk and empowerment series. And the topic today was how to open up your spiritual gifts by, how did I say? In Twin Flame Journey, how to open up your spiritual gifts, especially if you do not have money. And that was the reason that this topic actually even arrived. So, having said that, these were the ways that I actually found that it worked for me. So hope you like this video. Please let me know in the comments, what resonated, what part didn't. And I would always love to hear feedbacks. And do not forget to hit subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell. Like I said, today I'm having a hard time it's my throat chakra, I think. But yeah, I had a hard time, pronouncing certain words, whatnot, but, just bear with me. But, at least you got a really good video out of this. Okay. Well, you have fun and take care.